Alright, so I just got my watercolor brush pen set from ColorIt today. I ordered this off of Amazon a few days ago, and I was wanting to get it before I get into doing all my watercolor work that I'm planning on doing through November and December, and probably a little further than that. So I am just now opening this up, and let's see. You get 24 colored brush pens with a travel case, flexible brush tips, refillable ink, odorless and non-toxic, water-soluble, washable. Alright, so the reason I got this specific brand is because they are refillable. Even though it only comes in 24 colors, but at the same time, I feel like when you get over 24 colors, you're kind of just killing yourself as far as, like, you know, having to pick the right colors. Now, the one thing that bugs me is I could swear this thing said it came with a water brush. Okay. Well, that is the one thing that it does not have. You got your 24 colors, but no water brush, which was one of the big reasons that I was buying these, to try that thing out. Alright, so we got our reds and yellows and greens and blues and purples and pinks and browns and black and maybe gray. And so now I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of paper and some water, and we're going to try these out. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I've got a regular brush and a cup of water. And this is the printout that I did of my dogfight painting, and I started painting it with the watercolors. That was actually Crayola watercolor, that's not these brush pens. But I figured, if I've already got it, there's no point in wasting an extra set of paper just playing around. So let's start with, oh, I don't know, some blue. Let's go with a nice blue color here. Okay, so the pens, oh, okay, so this is Nifty Navy, or color code C130. Alright. I was going to say, how do you know what to refill them with if they don't have codes? Alright, so that does make pretty good lines. That's a good start. And of course, that's not really how you want to use this, but it makes lines. Okay. Now let's try a little something here. I'm just going to kind of lay in some water right here. I think I got some water there. Let me get a little bit more light down here. There we go. Oh yeah, that water will pull color out of your line, which is what I would expect. Now let's see what happens when I lay this down. Oh yeah, you see it bleeds out like that where I laid out my wash. Good, 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 good. And of course it's coming in quite dark. I guess I just haven't quite laid enough water in there yet. Let's do this. I want to make sure this water is saturating this area a bit. And it seems like maybe if you lay down a line, that's enough to create sort of a barrier. The water won't easily cross it. I mean, it's not like it's that hard to force the water across a lot, but it is handy to know that it might kind of stop there on its own. Okay, so that whole area is saturated. Now I actually have like a hair on the tip of this marker. Oh no, that's actually part of the brush, so that's not that good. There's like a stray hair already at the tip of this brush that's kind of coming out. Okay, but yeah, definitely. So there's a bit of a puddle right here because of the warping I already had in the paper. But hell yeah, this is working. It's watercolor. Okay. Oops. So now we know that you can spread your blue around like that. And of course you can always add more water. But that's the water brush pens that I was saying that I thought that came with one in this set. Is I guess it's really just like a tube with a brush nib on it that you put water in and just use that to kind of like wetten your painting surface. Okay, let's try some green. Let's see what the green will do. I am just playing around right here real quick, seeing what I could do. I have like very little skill with watercolor, and I'm just playing around right now. It's kind of nice looking. Yeah, let me add a little bit more down here. And so, yep, I've got a good layer of water floating around right here. And then let me grab a small brush. How's this one? Yeah, alright. So let's just kind of see. You can always manipulate a little bit more. We'll spread that water and the color around a little bit. And that is a hair on the surface of the drawing. Not sure where that came from, unless it came off of one of my brushes. Okay. Alright, let me try using this brush a little bit here. Now let's say I load in some color here, and it's already tinted with a little bit of blue from rubbing in that other area. And then, what if I go with some red? I just laid a really tiny little bit of red down in there. Yeah, so it spreads almost perfectly, so you can actually get rid of those lines. And just add a little bit of tone or a little bit of value instead. And that red comes off very faint initially. I'm sure it builds up though. Okay. So that's looking pretty decent as far as what these pens can do. Let me try something a little different now. So we'll bring in the blue. Nice and heavy on my blue right here. And then let's go with that green again. Okay. And then let's finish with some yellow. Like a golden yellow. It's probably partly orange. And like I said, I'm not really working towards finishing this painting. I'm just playing around with the colors, seeing what they'll do. That yellow is like very saturated right there. kind of, the saturation of it messes with the blend between the blues and the greens and the yellow. So we just knock that down a bit more. Okay. So I can definitely see how these might be useful. I will have to do a piece that is intended specifically for using these. And I think this whole sketchy bit, as far as, it's getting hard to lay color in there because it's wet. But if I come down here where I've got no water, I can pretty much sketch what I want to do with my marker or pen. And see, I can make that really dark. That's just loading up a lot of ink right there. And then I'm going to take this green and come in here, overlay it just a little bit right there, and bring it in on its own. So we'll see what happens when I lay water over this. I'll put in just a bit of yellow right there and a little bit right there. Oh, let me get some water here. And this little brush is a little bit better as far as not overloading the area. Just kind of work it from the outside around and then towards the inside. Okay, so now it's been coated. Of course, I've got everything, so if I stroke outside that area, it'll be bringing green and yellow. Okay, and it looks like I lightened it way too much out here and like pushed everything towards the center. Okay, like I said, I'm going to need to do a lot of watercolor practice before I'm really good at it, but we're starting here. And so I'm going to go ahead and end the video. These are kind of cool. And we'll see how well they work as I work on some new pieces.